Hello, everyone, and welcome to our talk show. Today we have with us our guest Amravi Shah, and we're going to discuss about how to get your first data science job. So, without waiting, not much, let's start with our discussion. So, I would warm welcome Ms. Amravi Shah. So, hi, Amravi, how are you? How's things going?
I'm good, Rajendra, and thank you so much for having me here.
Most welcome. So Ambravi, actually, we wanted to know more about you because our talk show today is how to get your first data science job, right? So wanted to know more about you, what you are doing nowadays. So if you can, throw some light on that and introduce yourself.
Sure, I'd love to. So as he's introduced, right? So I'm Amravi Shah. I have been in this domain for around 2.5 years now. So I got into this domain, like this was my first job. So when I got into Infosys and I gave certain interviews, I was able to get it. And well, my journey actually sort of began when I was in my final year. And one of our professors had put a link to a course on our group, right? And then I just did that course out of just like that. I was not interested into AI till then, and doing that course for around 3 months, that changed my entire career path, and there has been no looking back since then. And I just recently finished my postgraduate diploma in machine learning and AI.
Okay.
That's
amazing. So, Amravi, according to you, do you think there should be some educational background or something would require to some education background? You required some degree, you required to be in data science. What is your thought on that?
So I don't think you need a degree to get into this domain. So when I got my first job, right, I did not have any degree. I was an electronics and telecommunication engineer when I got into this domain.
Okay.
So basic requirement is you should know how to code in Python, basic of SQL, basic libraries that you use in machine learning, all those basic stuff that should get you through the door. But then to move ahead in your career, you'll obviously have to up your game. And then maybe that is the time you should think about doing a proper professional course. Till then, I think it's good to learn by yourself.
So that's amazing actually answer you have given. I would say it's gonna be useful for a lot of learners. I would say million of learners or people who are looking for opportunity in data science. Yes, you need to have that mindset. You need to have that willingness to learn. So knowing Python, SQL, knowing other let's say statistics, other programming language, you can be good at it, right? You do not require there's a thumb rule, I guess. It's also said that you do not have any formal degree to be a part of it, right? You can definitely go ahead and learn those tools and technology.
And I would just like to add one more thing, as you said, right? Like this is the kind of domain that is ever evolving, right? Every week you'll find new libraries coming up, new models, new versions. So like you'll have to learn by yourself, right? Nobody can't keep teaching you all of these things. So you have to have that learner's mindset, learning by yourself. That is the only way to go ahead.
Yeah, so this is something eye opener for a lot of people, because when we say that we have done something, we have learned something and we are done, but this is an iterative process. You need to keep learning, keep working upon those tools and technology, right? After, let's say, Mr. Toms came to our talk show last week only, and he said that yes, you need to be a good learner throughout your journey, so there would not be any break in between, right? So thank you so much, Amravi, for that. So moving to my next questions, when you yourself, start learning, right? What kind of challenges you will face, which you would like to, talk about, and even our learner or our viewers also wanted to know about those challenges. So if tomorrow they'll face those challenges, they will not, go back, but they'll face those challenges and move ahead in that career.
So one big challenge that I faced when I got started, right? There's so much content out there. Like tons of YouTube channels, tons of blogs, so many courses. And aside of that, there's so many topics that you have to learn in data science, right? There's NLP and computer vision, basic like the core ML algorithms, time series, deep learning. And that tends to get really overwhelming because you try to learn one thing and you feel like there's so many other things that got left out.
Right.
Like if you read one blog, there are tons of items that you don't know, and then you get overwhelmed. Okay, like I have no idea what I'm doing. Like there's so much content,
Right.
and you see people creating all those complex models, and you feel like I don't know when I'm gonna get there. So hang in there. It still gets a bit overwhelming after 2.5 years also, but trust me, it'll be worth the wait, because then things after a certain period of time, when you've been consistent at it, things start to piece in together. So you start understanding how everything else is related, but you'll have to stay in and stay focused, because it's going to take some time for you to settle into the domain.
Okay. So you need to keep learning, you need to keep moving,
learning,
right?
and
That
be
is,
patient.
yeah. So like you have a particular pattern, let's say if I'll tell you throughout your journey, right? Is there any some education or some learning patterns you adopt? Let's say I'm gonna study 1 hour or 2 hours per day, or let's say 10 or 12 hours per week. So is there any kind of threshold or learning pattern you adopt in your career to, you know, get into data science?
I think you have to be very consistent. You can't just study for 2 hours today and then not study for the entire week. So consistency is the key. So try to get hold of a particular like a course or some sort of roadmap, and then try to follow it. I used to study around 1.5 hours during the weekdays and try to make up for the lost time during the weekends.
Okay.
So the weekends you can practice whatever you learned in the weekdays, right? So machine learning is more of like a hands-on kind of a area. So you just can't, if you just keep on reading it, it won't help you. So you'll have to practice it. So I try to study all those concepts during the week, and during the weekend pick up a data set and try all those algorithms that I've learned, all those techniques, try and implement it. So that way you'll be very comfortable with it, like whatever you've learned in the long run. And make sure that you have some sort of goal set up, because it is very easy to get swayed away. Right. So try to set deadlines for yourself that, okay, in 1 week, I want to cover this much. 1 month, I want to cover this much. That is the only way you can go ahead.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So you said that you have done EC, right? So
correct.
From an engineer to be into, you know, this field, how was the journey so far? Like what do you suggest the engineers who can start up their career? Do you suggest them to move ahead with the same career, same pathway? Would you suggest that?
See, what I fundamentally believe is that skills can be taught to anybody. Like if
Right.
you put in some amount of hours, you'll be able to learn to code in Python. You'll be able to learn those libraries. It is not that difficult, but you should have the right mindset. You should be willing to learn things, or learn and unlearn, and keep that process ongoing. It's iterative process.
Right.
So keep that mindset that you want to learn and you're going to keep growing, and then try to go ahead, right? So it doesn't matter if you're from an electronics background or you're from computer, as long as you're willing to learn, and I think you can make it into this domain. In fact, you can
Awesome.
go to any domain that you want if you're
Right.
willing.
So there is a way. There is a way, right?
Correct.
If you want it to be, there is a way. All right.
So say that, right? If there is a will, then there is a way. So you have to find a way.
Yeah. And so coming to my next question, like, do you use any platform for a practice? As you said that, you know, we need to keep practicing, right? So like, have you yourself also use any platform to do practice on Python or SQL or any other tools and technology?
Yeah. So as I said, practice is the key to everything. You just can't keep on reading without practicing. It won't help you at all. So for Python and SQL, I use HackerRank to practice. They have tons of questions with a variety of level of difficulty. So you can start from the basics and go ahead. So that's a very good platform to begin with. And there are tons of other platforms where they provide you with questions, right? Okay. So you need to practice your Python skills, because mostly all of the coding happens in Python. Right. And for machine learning, I would say that Kaggle has tons and tons of data sets. So like
that's as well.
To place, pick up a data set and practice it. And even after you're done creating your model, your version of the code, you can actually go through the codes of the other people who have actually submitted. And then you can get an idea how other people are approaching this problem, what techniques have they used. And that way you'll actually learn something new every time you practice it. And one thing that has helped me a lot in like going forward is read blogs.
Okay.
So Analytics Vidya is a wonderful website that gives blogs. It's very good for beginners. Then
Okay.
there's Quants Data Science, Medium blogs are also very good. And you
Okay.
can check out my blog on divedeep.co.in. So I also
Okay.
try to document my journey on the way. So blogs are a very good way to stay on top of things, knowing what other people are doing. And
Okay.
if you're not the reading kind of person, of course, you can find YouTube channels, and Rajendra has a wonderful channel over here.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And you
So,
actually, suggested quite good resources in Arctic Vidya, Medium,
yes.
and towards data science, towards ML, your own blog as well. So we'll definitely share those resources in our comment section. So if somebody wanted to, go ahead and have a look into your blog section as well, they'll get a fair idea about it. They'll see your journey over here. They'll read your journey over there as well. So
Yes.
definitely we'll share that. And okay, moving to my next question. Let's say if somebody would moving into this industry, what gonna be the expectation from a particular him or her from the industry? What gonna be those expectation from them?
Okay. So for a person who's moving into the industry, right? I feel that the interviewer, right, what they expected out of me when I was appearing was
Mhm.
you should be very good with your coding skills. You should be very well versed with one particular language, preferably with Python.
Right.
Should have a basic knowledge about SQL for handling all the database sites. And you should be well versed with the basic libraries, like the bread and butter of machine learning.
Okay.
NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, actually, sklearn. So those basic libraries, once you're good with them, right, then you can actually just go ahead and build up.
Mhm.
And one important thing, as I said, right, the mindset should be there.
Right.
The interviewer knows that you can't know everything, but what they're looking for is that are you willing to learn? Like when you're
Right.
given a new problem, how willing are you to research and figure out a solution?
That's great. That's great. So really, it was interesting. So do you have any suggestion if the people or the students, learner, viewers, they are looking for and any placement, right? Do you have any suggestion for them, right? How they can prepare for it? Because you yourself is an example. Yeah, you are into the industry. You have started your career. You jump into the industry, and now you have a successful career. So, do you have any suggestion for them who are preparing to be into industry related to placement? There are a lot of learners who are just be, let's say, graduate or masters, or they wanted to be into industry. So do you have any suggestion or any input for them?
Yes, you can actually learn, make sure that your fundamentals are very clear and they're very strong. So basic statistics is there, probability is there, your coding skills are there. So if you have a good foundation over there, then you can obviously build on top of it. So make sure that your probability, statistics, mathematics part is strong. You understand why things are occurring. So it'll be
Right.
easier for you to understand the algorithms. And what I would suggest is instead of trying to learn a lot of algorithms,
Mhm.
try to make sure you learn a few, but you learn them very proper. Like you know the ins and outs, you know how that algorithm works. If that will give you a good understanding, and that is what I think recruiters are looking for.
That's awesome. So you just learn a lot of things, or whatever you learn, whatever you showcase, you'll be able to present those things, right, to
Justify.
the person who are looking for, because they are also looking for expertise from you, right? So what you are mentioning, what you are actually knowing, just try to elaborate that properly, right? That would be
Correct.
the right way. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So, according to you, you said that SQL, Python, statistics, and a lot of things, right? What skills a recruiter would be looking for? Because you also interviewed multiple times, right? You might be getting
Yes.
multiple offers as well. So, what do you suggest that what recruiter would be looking into a particular candidate, that yes, he or she is my kind of candidate. He or she could do well in my industry or my company.
See, data science is kind of a domain where no two projects are similar. Even if you get from the same industry, they're very, very different. So you should be actually be willing to find most of the time, right? As you also know, right? It's going and trying to find the correct data, trying to clean that data, trying to
Right.
find important insights from the data. So the person who wants to get into this domain should be willing to spend majority of his or her time looking at data, trying to understand it, have a good understanding of that domain. So try to get around that, because skills can be learned, but the skills can be learned, right? But
Right, right.
the patterns in the data is quite difficult. So that is something that you need to build up on.
Okay, okay. So the storytelling part, you need to know that
Storytelling part, correct.
what you are mentioning, how you are mentioning, because everybody would be talking about the model development, model deployment, but you should talk about the EDA part, exploratory data analysis. You
And
should, yeah,
more than 60-70% of our time goes
right.
into the part, right? So you should
Right.
be comfortable doing all of those things, finding patterns, statistically, some correlations, understanding it.
So there is no escape from that, right? You need to
That
be
is no, there is no
quite
escape.
familiar with that. If you do not like that, try saying that I love or I like this particular subject. You will fall in love with that particular subject, I would say. Yes. And I'm coming into my last question. So Ambravi, according to you, what are the three best resources if somebody comes to you and say that, okay, can you tell me the three resources to learn? So what are those three free resources you can provide? Of course, I'm gonna put down these three resources on the comment section as well as on LinkedIn profile as well. But what are those three resources you can tell somebody who wanted to start their career?
First is Kaggle.
Tackle, okay.
Go over there, get a data set and practice, practice, practice. That is the only way forward. Secondly, as I said, right, read blogs, understand what your peers are doing, what the researchers are looking at, where the domain is headed towards. So try to read those blogs. Maybe initially you don't understand what is going on.
Right.
Sooner or later it'll start making sense. Like, okay, people are interested in this domain. That it will give you an overall holistic idea as to how the domain functions.
Mm-hmm.
The third one is, like, if you're not a blog reading person, right? There are tons of podcasts available, and there's tons.
This is gonna be one podcast, I would say. how to get your first job with Ambravi Shah.
There are tons of podcasts on Spotify also. Like, you listen to them when you're traveling, and that is also a good way. So just practice and you'll make it through.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm definitely gonna, put down three resources over there. And I'm gonna put down your LinkedIn profile over there as well. And if anybody would have any questions, query, doubt, they can reach out to us. Me, Amravi, would definitely try to answer your questions, query, and you can like, share, subscribe our channel, and you can let us know if you have any questions or query. We of course gonna post the link for Amravi's blog section as well, so you can go through that section as well and can get a fair idea about her journey and her learning as well. So thank you so much, Amravi, once again, and it was really nice having you on our talk show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rajendra, for having me here.
Thank you so much. Have a great time. Bye-bye.
Bye.